Welcome back to my channel. So glad you're here with me. If you're new, thank you for stopping by. Today I'm going to show you kind of some little decor that I do for Valentine's. I don't do a whole lot. I just like to put little spots here and there within the house. I do my mantle, and I have another little tier that I'm going to show you, but it's real simple. And my whole goal today was to show you some inexpensive decor that you can do, maybe using dollar store items or even stuff that you have around the house. So let's just go on this journey of love. I'm outside in my garage and I'm prepping some little Valentine decor that I can put on my mantle, as well as on my little tiered tray that I kind of like to embellish for different seasons. So what I did is I had some scrap wood. So all of these Valentine's crafts are being used by my scrap wood. So I'm kind of excited about that because I don't have to go out and buy any new stuff. So I have these two pieces of wood, and I want to say they're a 1/2 inch. Like I said, they're just scraps. So I cut these down 4 by 4, and then this one was basically whatever the width I want. This one is just under 6 inches by 4. And then I had some extra trim, and so I'm going to go ahead and trim it down. Now, my trim I feel is too wide, and so I was able to use my scroll saw to trim them down a little bit. Let me take you over to the scroll saw and I'll show you how I cut it down to size. So I need to take a 1/2 inch off of these. This is the bigger one. I need to take 1/2 inch off here. So what I did is I clamped this piece and I measured from my blade to this piece because I need to have a straight line. I do not have like a straight guide, you know, just my hand by itself. It's kind of hard to see. Here's my blade right here, and I'm gonna just push this against that and let it do its cutting. Oh, before I do that, I'm gonna make sure my metal piece comes down so my wood isn't bouncing all over the place. So here I got 4 pieces, the perfect size, the width that I need, and I didn't have to go buy any more wood. I'm going to go ahead and use Early American to stain my pieces. I'm going to paint these white as my stain is drying, and then it'll be ready for assembly. So what I'm going to use for these pieces is Waverly plaster, and I'm just going to put a few coats on here, and I let it dry. Then I went to my silhouette and I cut out this word. Now I used Nightingale font for this, and then I went and I used the glyph option. And if you would like a tutorial on that, please comment below and let me know. Then I made this cute little heart, and then I got this idea off Pinterest to do February on the side, and this 14. All the fonts that I'm using, I'm gonna go ahead and provide links from defont.com. All right, I'm just gonna use my Frisco Craft transfer tape. For this heart, I basically just copied and pasted it, and I made it in there, and it's just a hole. That was an easy one. Frame on it. I'm going to go in the garage and use my nailer and get these finished. I love the color of how this came out. I made sure that all my pieces worked for each part, and I'm going to go ahead and nail it together. I'm not going to use glue because there's going to be no weight on there, so I'm just going to make sure that it's on here good, and as just the nail should be fine. I got this adorable mailbox from the dollar store. I forgot to get a picture or a video of it before I painted it, but basically it had just a pattern on it. And I taped this up really, really good, and then I just put several coats of a white matte spray paint. I'm gonna put this, and I already cut this out on my silhouette. This is a font. This is called the Skinny from defont.com. I don't remember what this is. I'll leave it in the as a link in the bottom. And then again, I just use these little hearts and I just resize it to what I want. I think I'm going to put it on the opposite side of the flag. Transfer tape. Super easy and cheap. It only cost me $1 to do this. I already had the spray paint. I already had the vinyl. The vinyl was from Hobby Lobby. It was the removable vinyl. I'm just going to be displaying it, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be permanent, and so I think it works perfect. I got these adorable little rolling pins from Amazon. I'll put the link in the description below. After getting them, I realized they were a little bit smaller than I wanted, but I'm going to make it work. They're 5-inch rolling pins. Hobby Lobby was out of theirs, and so I'm gonna make it work. It's a 6-pack, and I'm gonna just use a sponge brush I got from the dollar store, and I'm going to use Country Red, and this is the bubblegum pink, and I'm going to cover the little handles with painter's tape. It's not necessary, but I do not have a steady hand. So, and I want to possibly leave the little handles natural. So I'm just going to go ahead and just cover these real quick. And I'm going to go ahead and just paint them the red and the pink. These came out adorable. I'm glad I taped it around there and I just pulled it off. And it was a nice clean line. I used my silhouette and I cut out some words, and I used a font. It's kind of like the Skinny, but it's called DK Lemon Yellow. And again, it's from defont.com, and it's just a super cute, it resembles the Skinny or the Rafe Dunn font. I find this one, it was just a little bit thicker, and because my rolling pins were so tiny, I felt that this worked better. So I'm going to go ahead and use my transfer tape again that I use for everything else. Super cute. I have this ribbon here. I'm just going to tie a little knot. You can make a bow, whatever ribbon that you have to match what you have. Dollar store always has some really cute ribbon. And of course, you can go to Hobby Lobby or Joann's. Super cute. I love how these came out. I didn't realize that my camera turned off as I was putting on this one, Be Mine. And I just had some ribbon and some different twine that I just put around it. I just used whatever ribbon I had in my stash. This one I didn't put a ribbon on because the word was so big. And of course, this one is cute. Can't wait to go put it on my display downstairs. I'm going to try 2 different ways of painting my wooden beads. I've got this Rit powdered, and the only reason why I got this one, it was because it was way cheaper than the liquid. I'm going to go ahead and mix it into this metal bowl. I have 2 cups of water, but I want this to be really bright, so I might just do 1 cup of water. So I have this package in here, and I just I'm gonna pour half of it in here. I don't really have any specific measurements. The directions say 1 packet to 2 cups of water. So we'll see. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna put the whole thing in because I'm not gonna save it for anything else. Boiling hot water. It's really, really bright. Just mix it up until it all dissolves. The color that I got was Scarlet. You can choose whatever color you want. If you want a lighter color, you could just add more water. If you want it really dark, so we'll see what this looks like. I have my wooden beads here, and I'm just gonna put them in here. I'm gonna let them sit in here for about 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna rotate them because they're kind of bobbing, or I might just come in within the next 5 minutes, just kind of stir them up and just making sure that they're all coated. Let's set the timer. Another method I saw was using a jar with some paint watered down. So what I have here is I have bubblegum pink Americana. I got this from Hobby Lobby. And so what I'm going to do, again, there's no specific measurements. I'm going to just put paint in here. And I'm going to put a good amount. And then I'm going to put some water and just mix it in. I have these beads on a skewer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use it again to hang it up to dry. I have 15 on here. I'm just going to go ahead and put them all in here. Shake it up. These are going to be super light. I think I might need to add more paint. There's no science to this. You just adjust it to what you like and how bright or how faded you want. And I'm just feeding them back on my skewer. I got these adorable little crates from the dollar store, and they have the little grooves in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide it in there and let it dry. I went ahead and I painted more pink. As you can see, it's a very, very messy project. One trick that I was kind of doing that I thought would worked better is as it was drying, I took a foam brush and I just gently rotated it, and then I would smooth out any of the drips. I noticed that once it was drying, I turned it around and it was like little droplets of paint. These ones on here, I just ran out of skewers, and I'm just gonna kind of roll them around, and if they're not, you know, evenly coated, it's fine, because as I put them on thread, it'll hide it. I'm also going to show you 2 different staining with the dye. This one came out darker, and I used the exact same water for this one, and it came out blotchy. It's hard to tell on the camera, but it came out blotchy and much thinner. I'm thinking my powder didn't dissolve because it cooled down too much. I ended up leaving this for more than 5 minutes. I think it was like 20-30 minutes. I kind of forgot about it. I was working on another project and I got distracted. I left this for maybe 15 minutes, and I'm not really happy with how this one turned out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put paint. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna use this paint, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just put it on here and then shake it around and see if that works. I mean, it can't get any worse than what it looks like now. I'm already liking that. It's coating it really nice. And I just let it. So I might do the same with these ones, because so that I get the same color. I'm going to just combine these two trays and just paint them. There's a tiny bit of water in there, so actually that's going to help. All right, so once they're dry, I'm going to come back and show you the finished product. My beads are all dry, and I just kind of left it here for a couple days because I was working on another project. And I have this spool of jute that I've had for a while. And I'm just going to leave it on there. I really don't know how long I want to do this. And so I'm just going to leave it in the spool here. I got this from Hobby Lobby. And I just put some tape around the end of my jute, and I'm just going to feed in my beads. And again, I don't really have a specific length in mind. And I'm just going to alternate colors. I got these really cute hearts from the dollar store. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this white and then use it at the end of my bead garland. All right, so I'm going to let this dry, and let's move back to my beads. So I have about 45 on here, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave it like that. So here's my finished heart that I just painted white, and I just used my silhouette and I wrote out the words. And then I took a sponge, and I just took a little very, very dry sponge of red, and I just kind of distressed the side. So I did hugs, kisses, and I just tied a knot on the end of my wooden bead cord. I'm here outside, and I'm going to make a large X and a large O, and I cut this out with my silhouette. I also got this nice piece of wood from Lowe's, and it was under where they do the cutting, and it was a piece of scrap, and I got it for free. So I'm super excited about this project. I'm gonna cut this out with my scroll saw and use it for my Valentine's decor. And I have this vision in mind, and I'm just really hoping that it'll come out. What's going on in my head will come out on this project. So all I'm going to do first is I'm basically just going to line this out and then use my scroll saw to cut. And I've cut these at about a little under 12 inches because that was the width of my cutting mat on my silhouette. And so I'm going to go ahead and outline it and use my scroll saw. all done cutting, I'm going to go ahead and take my sander and smooth out all these edges. I think it'll look amazing. So they're all cut. I sanded them down. I used 80 grit first, and then I went back and I did 220, and they are silky smooth, super nice. I created a flat surface on the bottom of my O. I just take my scroll saw and I just kind of went into a straight line so it'll stand up nice. So this is my idea. I'm going to paint them. I'm going to paint this red and I'm going to paint this white. Then I'm going to go with the opposite color and then distress it really good. So that's what's in my mind, and I'm really hoping that it's going to come out, and then when I distress it that the first coat will come through the second coat. And so so once I sanded down the white, that the red will come through a little bit. So that's my hope. So I'm going to go ahead and paint them. I'm just using regular acrylic paint, nothing fancy. And so let's hope that this works out. So here's my finished product for my X and my O. I went ahead and painted them just solid colors. I wanted a distressed look, but it didn't work out the way I wanted it. So this, my X, I just went and I used a chalk paint plaster from Waverly. My O, I ended up going with a darker red. I had regular red and then I just added a touch of black to make it darker. And I'm very happy with how it turned out. I threw these together super quick last night. I absolutely love how they came out. I designed the heart and love in my Silhouette Studio program, cut it out and ironed it on. I did the same for here. I designed it and ironed it on. Now I do have a pillow tutorial I did for Christmas, and I use the same concept, and I will post it down below in the description. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And also, what are you doing special for Valentine? Have a wonderful day. We'll see you in the next video.